The king had an unusual obsession. He actually kept a flea as a pet, which grew larger than a goat. Initially, this flea was no different from ordinary ones, and the king intended to squash it, but to his amazement, the flea obeyed his commands, hopping back and forth on his hand. Captivated by this miraculous experience, the king held the flea and left the palace, forgetting the performing princess and ministers. Back in his private chambers, the king fed the flea in astonishing ways. After it was sated, he placed it in a crystal box and observed it closely with a magnifying glass. Days later, the flea grew to the size of a peanut. Neglecting state affairs to care for it, the king spent his days confined, even crafting toys for the flea. His attention to the princess waned, just as she reached an age of budding romance, dreaming of marrying a handsome, brave man. Yet the king seemed indifferent upon hearing this, merely telling her to eat. She found the meat in her plate undercooked, but the king took it away, whispering the flea's name in his private quarters. In just a few days, the flea had grown as big as a young goat. The king fed it the undercooked meat, caressing its back with a look of affection. But tragedy struck one night. The doctor was suddenly summoned as the flea fell ill. Terrified by its size, the doctor, a human physician not a vet, was helpless against the flea's condition. The flea passed away, leaving the king heartbroken. Before the doctor left, the king warned him to keep this secret. The next day, the king agreed to let the princess marry, but only to a man who could pass a test.